Good afternoon. We're afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to SpecTalk. If you are new here, we're going to take a second to just introduce everybody that's on the screen for you here that's going to be spending the next 60 minutes with you. And we'll hopefully make them the most wonderful 60 minutes ever. So first, we're going to start with the next slide, and we are going to introduce Alex. Alex is a rock star here at SpecLink. He's a strategic account executive, and he knows this software inside and out. So if we run into any, if we got some good tech questions today, Alex is going to be here to support that as well. We'll go in order here. Next is me. My name is Dory. I'm a licensed architect in Ontario, Canada, and a strategic account executive here at RIB as well. And our spec expert here, Holly, is that fine? Can I call you spec expert? Yeah,
I guess.
Holly Jordan will be with us today to answer all of your, whether they're SpecLink questions or just spec questions in general. But you can see Holly, if it's your first time meeting Holly, she knows her stuff, and we're going to prove that to you over the next 60 minutes. All right.
He likes to challenge me.
Oh, I love to challenge you, Holly. All right, so before we get started here, we'll jump to the next slide, and we will say that we are going to ask you guys, we did this last week and it worked out really, really well. So what we're going to do is ask you guys to submit your projects. We're doing a little contest here. So we're asking you to submit the projects that you've used SpecLink to specify with. And we are going to choose 3 winners based on the submissions. Winners will get a JLB speaker and some SpecLink swag. I think it's a koozie that we're going to be sending out there. There will be 3 winners, and we are going to announce them at the beginning of the next Spec Talk, so in 2 weeks from now. So the instructions are on the screen. If you want to send the project name, the firm name, the owner, and the location in an email to kristen.tiliakos@ribsoftware.com. We will take a look. We will choose winners based on that, and then we will announce you guys next week. So it'll be fantastic, and you'll get to listen to music in the shower, I guess, or outside in the rain. However you want to use your waterproof speakers entirely up to you. Holly, do you have a waterproof speaker?
Yes, Kristen sent me one. I'm so excited.
Oh man, Okay, I'm gonna have to try to get a waterproof speaker here. All right, so I think we're ready to get into some questions, aren't we, Alex? Am I missing anything here?
Well, we just wanted to do a quick recap on what we've talked about the past few weeks.
Yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, we've done quite a few of these spec talks, and they're all pre-recorded. They're all recorded for you to go back and watch at your convenience. So we've done them on SpecLink's BIM integration. We've done spec talks on the importance of collaboration and specifications, some great conversation around Office Masters, you can see there, and just the overall digital tools that SpecLink has to offer, as well as woven within those are just questions about the software, about best practices, about specifications in general. So they all run about an hour long. If you've got some time or looking for some specific information, you can check back into those. The same way today's is being recorded and is going to be available for you there. And I think I'm going to now politely ask Morgan to include the link to these in the chat so that everybody who's here today has good, quick access to those. Thanks, Morgan.
That's right.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. And these are again available on tap, so you may have different members of your company, folks that are more ingrained on the Revit side, or maybe you've got some junior staff that's looking to kind of get into spec writing, or you're looking how to get your junior staff into spec writing, maybe more so. So different topics, you can just share this link internally, and your team members, your employees, your coworkers can look at any of these topics that are of interest individually, and we're always available to chat with you further and set up a one-on-one presentation or demonstration with your company as well.
Yeah, so go learn from Holly first from the pre-recorded stuff, and then if you still have any questions. I'm teeing you up here, Holly. I'm trying to get you.
He's like, oh, he's setting me up.
I'm setting you up for success. All right.
Yeah.
So we are just going to open it up. So today's topic is not really a topic. It's just what we've called an open house. So we're inviting everybody who's viewing here to submit your questions here and just ask us some of the things, whether it is about SpecLink or specification writing best practice. But I wanted to start the ball rolling with Holly, because Holly, I know you are a wonderful spec consultant. And I'm curious that when you're reviewing other people's specs or helping people with their specs, whatever, like what is the main ask people ask of you when they reach out to your firm?
How much?
What is the second thing people ask you?
They ask for experience. They ask for a sample. They ask for what project types we do. Do you have a short form spec? How do you do your content? How do you coordinate and collaborate with a team? Those are pretty much, you know, a lot of the main questions we get.
Okay. And you seem to have answers ready to go for all of those. Those don't sound like they're going to trip you up too much.
No, you know, we have a process. We show the SpecLink collaboration tools. That's one of the main things that we show our teams. I think, you know, people are like really interested in doing the online collaboration. We had a client where the owners had their own masters, and we had to use Word documents, and the architect, he was complaining immensely, why can't we use SpecLink? Why can't we? I want SpecLink. And I'm like, you and me both, sir. So, you know, when the clients start asking, hey, I want that collaboration tool, I think we're on the right track. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's get to, we got a couple of questions rolling in here. So first I want to acknowledge Todd, whose swag arrived from the last one. So thank you. I hope that treats you well. We've got a specific question for Holly. So Donald is asking, can Holly show her trick of adding a section to related requirements article and linking that section automatically?
Pull it up, Alex. Alex.
We need like sound effects buttons, you know, so like in morning radio shows or something. Crowds cheering, or you know, just to keep the hype up. Some background music. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and come down here to the related requirements. And we actually have a pick list of different options. You have underneath the choices, you have the option to actually choose and create. Let's see here. A reference standard. So you can choose that. You can choose also, I'm sorry, section ID. So you can actually find the section that you're looking for, and you'll be able to take that and you can actually drag that into your section. So let's say it's something in 06. Okay, I can grab that. Sorry, I can select that. Okay, and then I can drag that into the actual specification. So that'll add it as sort of an intelligence standard.
You got your track changes on, Alex?
Yeah, let me take that out there. So, okay. Now, Holly, from there.
Okay, so you have two choices. Okay, so the first choice is the way Alex did it. Is he drug the section over. Now, Alex, let's do this again. Okay, so you're going to add another section. Let's do it. Let me show you. Okay. So go back to start over on this.
Okay. We've got a new paragraph selected.
And so let's pick another section.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to click section ID. You're in the reference standard, sir. So, all right, stop. So the first thing I want to do is I want to include section title. So see that little box down there? Click. And if you when you're in there, if you click twice up there, it'll drag the box up too. So let's do 033000. Type in 033000. Okay, and click the cast in place concrete section. Click. Okay, and now you're going to drag it over. So when you drag this one over, let's see what happens here. So when you drag this one over, it drags in the section number and the section name. So you have a choice whether you want to have just the section number, okay? And sometimes the purpose for that is here in the related requirements, you want to drag the section number and the section name. But say you're down like in the body of the document, some people like to have just the number, and some people like to have the number and the name in the body of the document. So that's why you have that choice. So in the related requirements, you're gonna click that box to show the section number and name. Okay, does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Hope so.
Hope so. I see, excuse me, I see Harry's question here. Harry, I'm still working on I'm not ignoring you, Harry. I'm just saying that. We're working on getting a proper answer for you on that. So let's move on to the next question that's submitted by Gordon here. And Gordon's asking another question for Holly. Holly, you're popular here. The question is how to balance instruction and means and methods overlap.
Ooh, don't do means and methods. That's a contractor's job to decide. When it's something that the contractor needs to do that you're not like really specific about exactly how it needs to be done, let the contractor decide. They're the ones building the building. You're just giving the instructions. Right? So say you're putting one of those from that big Swedish box store, and you get the instructions. Okay, means and methods, it has the instructions at how to do it and what tools, but you're going to decide whether or not you want to stand up or sit on the floor to put the thing together. That's means and methods. Mm-hmm. Is it really necessary to tell someone exactly how to do it? What we want to do is we want to specify that it's done right, it meets the contract documents.
All right, thank you, Holly. And the next question here is, we have 3 Steves in a row asking questions.
Steve, so, it's Steve Day.
It's Steve Day. The one about imported forms, we're going to hold off on for a second here. We're going to move to the next one here. The question is, in terms of permissions to copy and rename sections in SpecLink, can that be done without providing all users full permission or access? We've been told there is a partial or full control, but the partial access limits user functions for the copy and rename features.
So when you have a system admin, right? That person can do everything, and they can set up who does what. Okay, and then you have different levels. Can you go to that menu, Alex, for the role permissions and stuff?
Oh, yes.
So within the role permissions, here are your access. So if you see on the right side, it says system manager, standard. So you can decide, okay, who does what. So say you have a standard user, okay. You can decide whether the standard user is able to do certain things. You have the choice. It comes a certain way, but you have the choice to decide who gets to do what. Okay, so say create a new project. Right now it's system manager and above, but you can change create a new project to say the standard user is able to create a new project. Okay, so just look at the items on the left and what those items are, and then you can decide from this level to above who is able to do that. Okay, so you have the choice you have the choice.
Okay, thanks, Holly. So the third Steve question in a row here. Let's round
Go
up the
Steve.
Steves.
It's Steve Day. Steve.
Steve Day. The next one is the process for adding a reference standard similar? Oh, hold on, they're moving on my screen. The questions are coming in now. It's is the process for adding a reference standard similar to this example of adding a related requirement?
You always have more than one way to do anything. Okay, so what you want to do is for your reference standard, it is similar. You can you pull your reference standards over. So first off, if you import a section, SpecLink has where it will import and set up the reference standards for you. That's new. That was like the last update. Woo, game changer. Okay. Or you can drag them over just like we did when we were doing the sections. But the first thing that you want to do is, can you go down to the reference standards article here? Okay. Can you open your sequence manager for me? Left side. And tags. Click on tags. Okay. So if you can see those tiny little letters all on the left on reference standards, on line, what is it, 066 there, the tag that says RT there, yes, that if you have this article tagged, when you go through and you add another reference standard, when you drag it over, it'll automatically put the reference standard and the name of the reference standard right here in this article, no matter where you add it. So if you add that there, just plop it in, okay? And that was the Ask Me 112. If you go back up, if you go back up to the article, it's gonna automatically put it in for you. Once you have that, once you have the article and reference standard tagged, it's going to automatically put it in. It's going to automatically put him in where he belongs. So I think that's like really, really cool. Okay, and it's automatically when you have that paragraph, it's linked. So when you have that paragraph where Alex added it in, when he turns that paragraph on, it's going to activate it up in part 1. There it is, the Ask Me 112. And you can see that that one is live now because, hey, you're talking about me down in the body of the document. Here I am. Okay.
Holly, you are attacking these answers today. You must have slept well last night. We've got, okay, this is a good question. I like this question coming in from Blake. No, this is, I think you guys will be able to answer this one.
He's hunting for a hard one.
No, I'm just going to make one up at this point. But at the halfway mark, I'm just going to trip you just to see what happens, see how quick you can get up. Elena's asking, what can we offer others who may be on the design team but do not have SpecLink licenses? For example, my architecture team is working with an AOR, and the AOR does not have SpecLink.
So you do not have to have SpecLink in order to we want everyone to have SpecLink, by the way.
I was going to say, let's book them a demo first. Let's book that AOR a demo.
One of the things is you can review and comment. Anyone can do that. All you have to do is they do not have to have a license or a seat or an official purchase of SpecLink, which we would prefer they did anyway, but you can review and comment on any section. Okay, so say you have a project, you share the project with someone, and they get an email from SpecLink, and they set up a view and comment account. Okay, and then they can view and comment on anything. Now, one of the things over here next to the drop down that Alex has, where it says section access, you can give them access to the entire project. You can give them access to active sections only. You can give them access to divisions and individual sections. So I use the individual sections is really great for like my fire stopping rep or my painting reps. I give them access to those individual sections, and then they can go in and they can view and comment and help me improve my specifications. Now for For some of our team members, like our interior design team members, they really not necessarily like to look at the waterproofing specs in Division 7. So you can give them access to Divisions 8, 9, and 10, or you can just click on and decide which sections that they want to look at, so they don't get overwhelmed and have to look at the entire thing. You get to choose what sections they see, and actually what they see in the sections as well. You can turn off all of the non-selected items. I like for everyone to see what I have selected and what I have not selected, but some people find it overwhelming also to see the whole thing, the gray and the black, that selected and non-selected. So you have control. My recommendation to everyone is play with it, see what it does. You're not going to break it, and if you do, just call SpecLink and they'll fix it.
That's great. All right. So hopefully, Elaine, that answered your question there. I think Donald, who asked a question earlier, was looking for a little more clarification on auto-linking their related requirements article,
Okay.
if there's a way to auto-link it. I think you showed a process how to link it. Maybe I'm not understanding the clarification there. So maybe Donald can maybe share with an email or something like that, where there's a little more space on the screen to elaborate on it. Mohan is asking, how do you add a new reference standard? I need to add a new ASTM reference into a spec.
Okay, so we're going to go over to the document manager. Okay, and you're going to click reference standards. And see that little RS in a little cloud there with a plus? You're going to click that, and it says create a new reference standard. You're going to click there. You're going to type whatever it is, ASTM, whatever. Okay, then you're going to type the edition. Okay, then you're going to do the title. The whole name of the document, not the ASTM number. You're going to type in the name of the document.
Give me an example, Holly, so I can follow suit.
Ways to create reference standards.
Genius, Holly.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to copy from the website where you were looking it up, and you're going to copy and put the hyperlink, the www, the http, whatever there. Okay, so you're going to put a link, because really when you pull it over, you want to have the link in there so that you can click the link and it'll take you to the website. So you want to put the website address in there. Okay, and then you can test the link to make sure it works.
Let's do something real here.
There.
Yep.
Pretty easy.
Save it.
That was pretty efficient answer, Holly.
So
nice
now
work.
when you pull that over, pull it into your document, first thing it's going to do is you can see, what is it, ASTM B98. If we're going to go up to part 1 to that article, you're going to see it in there. There it is, ways to create reference standards. Okay, now click on it, Alex. See, it's linked because you talked about it in the body of the document, and it's going to take you right there.
Does this make you miss writing specs in a word processor, Holly? You must miss.
No.
This is great.
No.
That's a good answer. And I think
one of the things is it's live. Okay, why would you list reference standards? Some people do list reference standards in the body of the document, or list reference standards here in this article that are not talked about. So it automatically links when you have that tag that we talked about earlier. So somewhere in the body of the document, we clicked on something and it activated it up here. Now I have a client who asked me if we could turn that off, and you can turn this article off, okay, in your summary, I believe. Because some people don't like to list, because sometimes when include reference standard in each section. So you can turn that, you can turn your related requirements, and you can turn off, because sometimes I'm not hating on them, but our engineering friends, they have reference standards that are like a mile long, right? And so some people are like, oh, we don't want those. We don't want that article turned on. So you can see that it's still there, but it's automatically turned off. As well, you can see in your first reference standard, that ASTM A767, you can still click on it. It's still there. It's just not active. You can still click on it and it'll take you there. Okay. Also, can you go back to the document? Also, you can see where it has a date. Okay, so when it was auto-populated, it has the reference standard date. You can also turn that off in where Alex was previously in the summary. You can turn the dates off. Some people don't want the dates listed as well.
Now, Holly, I'm getting I got a comment on the side here that says, be sure to mention that the ASTM designation cannot be changed after you create it.
That's correct.
Okay, so it would have to be deleted.
So pay attention to what you're doing.
Could you delete it? You would have to delete it and recreate it if there was a typo or an error in the entry. Okay.
Yeah, but I think I may be wrong, but SpecLink has somebody who specifically checks, and when a user adds reference standards, they're checking everything. They're checked and added and corrected. So you can tell the difference between a reference standard that comes out of the box with the database, and you can tell a reference standard that's a user section. So sometimes you'll see a user creates a reference standard, and then a lot of people are creating user sections. So the SpecLink team, the content team, they go through and they double check and see when people have created user sections, and they create the official one that goes. So you'll see one that's a user one, and then you'll see a new one. So they're paying attention to those. But yeah, you gotta, if you type it in wrong, I don't think you can edit it, but I'll have to check on that.
Spec writers are not in the business of doing things wrong, right? So I think I'm pretty confident everybody on this would just nail it the first time.
Yeah.
We've got another question from Harry coming in. It says, I understand that SLC can now apply references to an imported dumb Word doc. Can you provide an example? Alex, do we have something lined up where we could provide an example for that?
Yeah, so when you import a section, it will automatically create the references title and tag and liven your links. You still have to go and double check everything. Don't let the machines take over. Go ahead and double check your work, because sometimes they may be typed in wrong, or something may happen and they may not it's not perfect, right? Just like anything else, but it will import them, it will create the article, it will tag it, and it will link them throughout the body of your document to part 1.
Okay. Alex is flying there while I'm just watching in awe.
Yeah, there they are.
Here, yeah.
So he created a dumb document, a dumb Word document.
Not my words. No, I'm just
So you can see that those in that article in part 1, you can see that down in the body of the document, they're live and they're tagged and linked up here.
Hey, Holly, this is Nish. Sorry for jumping in. Alex, if you don't mind, if you can switch on the links pane, we also now automatically build links, which is reference standard citations. So if you just go to the links column,
there they are.
You'll see that. So that's automatically built for you now as part of the import process.
Right. Yep. So anytime it's mentioned down in the body of the document, it links here into this article and this reference standard.
Gotta love Nish, our guardian angel, just kind of watching over us. Then when the moment is right. He just kind of
Right. Nish knows. Nish
comes in
knows.
and Nish knows. He just comes in and answers that question for us. I love it. Okay, we have another question from Tim here. Now, Holly, I need your attention. I need you to focus on this one because
sorry.
it's a longer question, and I just want to make sure we get this all figured out. So Tim is saying, I've created our own 01-2500 substitution procedures and 01-3300 submittals procedure sections. Okay. Changing the enhanced text. Oh, hold on. With each question, it like jumps down my screen here. So changing the enhanced text referring to these sections in each spec section has been very time consuming. Any way to make a global project change in reference from the RIB section references, 01-3000 and 01-6000 respectively, to our unique sections?
I'm not sure I follow the whole question here.
Okay. Maybe we can have Tim email that to us, and we can provide maybe a little better.
You're gonna have to, if you have an imported section, you're gonna have to liven it yourself. So the only way to kind of do that is to use you can copy a SpecLink section and manipulate it yourself. But if it's a user section, you're gonna have to liven your links and pull over your related requirements and all of that yourself. Now the reference standards, those will automatically populate and liven, but the other stuff in the body of the document, you're going to have to do yourself.
Now, if we're referring to global terms, there's this too. So if it's something, like the owner name or the project location or the architect of record, prime engineer, those are all sort of prefabricated, what we call global terms inside of SpecLink. So you can take those same terms and you can add those into your imported section too. So if that is something that changes or that you change within SpecLink, it will disseminate in all the other locations and the location that you set up.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to another question here. Elaine is asking again, do role permissions only address the user level? Can you set role permissions differently for the same user, say expert in the masters, but standard in the projects?
I believe so. You can set that project by project, I believe. I haven't done it before, but I believe so.
Okay. That is the best we got for you right now, Elaine, for an answer, but we think so.
I haven't tried it.
It might be worth investigating, but Holly's gut feelings are usually what? 10 out of 10?
Maybe.
So the next question here, can the presenter speak to performance concerns associated with the cloud-based nature of the system? I think that might be a question that Nish can maybe jump into the comments and answer there.
Well, if you got slow internet, you got slow cloud, right?
Yeah, and it's it's not a real demanding or taxing platform, right? It's not like this graphics rich setup that we've got going on here.
But one thing that we learned, because we had a client who asked for this, is circular linking. Okay, so you link from part 1 to part 2, part 3, and then you link the same document from part 2 to part 1 to so if you turn something on in part 1, it turns it on in part 2, or if you turn it on in part 2, it turns it on in part 3. If you use circular linking like that, or if you go crazy and overlink, it's gonna slow you down, okay? Because it's thinking, right? So think about that. You don't want to overlink, and you don't want to circularly link. You want to like link from part 2 to part 1, or part 1 to part 2, however your preference is. So that will slow you down if you overlink.
Yeah,
Dory,
that's
if you don't mind, I'll probably jump in, and I do want to address that.
Yeah, please.
I think we do acknowledge that there might be performance concerns for a variety of reasons, but assuming that your infrastructure isn't a constraint, it's mostly the complexity around the link logic that you build. And some of our users do that, and we completely understand that, and hence we are committed to, so we are rolling out the next generation of link engine over the next couple of releases. It's currently under beta assessment with a few customers that we have identified. So we are completely committed to ensuring that performance and the link engine, which is at the heart of the entire application, is next generation and always ready to sort of meet the dynamic needs of our users. When we had built it, we hadn't, I mean, most of our users have surprised us in ways that they've customized the link engine and the ways they've built logic. It's both baffled us and surprised us, and we've taken this on as a challenge and feedback to sort of strengthen our foundations and develop the next generation of link engine. So Jonathan, if there are specific concerns, I'm more than happy to sort of address that. I'll probably reach out to you offline. We can also sort of set up, I think you're talking about some references. We're more than happy to sort of help you with that or address any concerns that they have and let you sort of test drive and go from there. But yes, performance is our number one, I would say, priority outside of the features that we constantly develop. And we're committed to ensuring that everybody has the best performance on the platform. Thanks again.
I like how they listen. They listen to the clients, huh?
And they give these perfect answers. Thank you, Nish. That was unbelievable. We've got a question from Tim here that's asking, is there any way to print individual sections when in outline format? Would be helpful if not available. Also would be helpful if there was some basic paragraph numbering in outline format. And as I'm finishing this, Alex is halfway through showing Tim how that's going to happen.
Well, I was trying to align with you there, but sorry.
Okay. I talk fast. That's me.
So,
I'll take that.
So click. Right now you're in full spec. Click on outline view. Okay. In order to print them, just like anything else in the outline view, you got to turn them on, right?
Right.
That's the way I do it.
And then once we go, okay, so it looks like there is a limit specifically on the outline view for the most narrow scope is going to be a branch as opposed to a section. So it cannot print a individual section, unfortunately, at the current moment. I think it takes into the fact the brevity of, this will take up such a limited space already.
Can you go out? So let me tell you a secret. Go out.
Sure.
You got to whisper secrets, though, Holly. You got to whisper.
Okay. So go to your sequence manager. Okay. So go into your full spec now. Okay. And go back to the, instead of outline, go to full spec. Okay. Now click on tags and show me your tags. Okay, so the way to be a weasel and work around this is just activate everything that says outline. Now you might have to, there might be some automatic, links that you might need to bust. Okay, but if you just activate everything that is outline, see how he has it this way. Now you can just print the section. Okay, so it's kind of my weaselly way to work around it. So turn on your turn on your tags and see what's tagged as an outline. Activate those in a full length spec, and then you can print it. How about that?
Tim, I hope that answers your question.
It printed your reference standards because that was automatically turned on. So for an outline spec, we probably don't necessarily want the reference standards to automatically turn on, so you can go back to your summary and tell it no reference standards. There's always more than one way to do something. Okay, if I can't do it this way, play with it and see, maybe I can weasel around and do it a different way.
I think that'd be a great name for like a newsletter that you have, Holly, or
Spec
something.
weaseling?
Just like Holly's Weasel Arounds or something
Holly's
like that. I'd open that.
I'm a big spec weasel. Let me tell you.
Holly the spec weasel.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question for, I don't know why, just the visuals.
Nice.
Keenan is asking a question, and it goes like this. In the reference standards article, is it possible to add a line of text to introduce each reference type? For example, in our Word documents, we have a 1.01a American Society of Testing and Materials. Then it would follow with each ASTM. Is it possible to recreate this in SpecLink?
Yeah, you can.
Fantastic. do we have a way of demonstrating that?
Import your documents and then pull it live in your reference standards. Okay, and then link them from where they're talking about them in the body of the document. Link them from the reference standard listed in the body of the document to the reference standard in part 1. Yes, you can do that.
All right. Great answer, Holly. Always. We've got a question from Todd here. This is an interesting one. It says, no. It says, for our firm, I have create new project locked out because I want them to always start from the Office Master. To create a new project, they have to make a copy of the master. Is this the best way to accomplish this? So this is like a best practice question.
Yeah, you want everyone to start fresh every time. But if you have a project that for a specific client and they want you to use an old project, the thing is when you copy an old project, when you copy a project, everything that is active and not active is still going to be there. You can still edit it, right? Rather than if you copy an old project that's a Word document, everything that you took out is gone, right? The only problem that you have is that if you make a change to the master until Nish, does his new fancy, thing that he was talking about earlier, and we don't want to like change projects once we've created them from a master. So yeah, we want to start fresh from the master because we keep the masters updated. But sometimes you copy a section or you copy a project over. It's not exactly 100% best practice, but because it's a database and because if you copied it, as long as you don't use the D word delete, okay, and turn things off and on, everything that you didn't use is there in a project when you copy it. So best practices always start fresh from a fresh, clean master, but you can't always do that.
Thanks, Holly. Did we lose Alex?
Oh no.
Alex,
nope, I'm right here. Absolutely.
Your screen, we can't see you anymore.
We can't see you, Alex. He's making a face. He didn't like my answer.
If that's intentional, no problem, but
oh wait.
No, I'll fix that. Go ahead and go to the next question. We'll get that corrected.
Okay, so no problem. The next question is from Jonathan. Jonathan is asking like the best questions today. Jonathan is asking, can the presenter speak to the criteria module?
What do you mean by that? I need more to answer that one.
Jonathan, we're looking at you. We need a little more info
Jonathan,
to help you with your question. Holly, start chanting his name or something like that. You have a
Jonathan,
way of getting.
Come on.
Some applause, pom-poms. In my office, we keep a set of pom-poms around just when people need moral support. Just do like a, sneak into somebody's office and shake a couple of pom-poms. How can somebody not get motivated with that?
We do that with snacks. We're snack motivated in our office.
So getting information on the side here from Gary, bless Gary's heart, that says the design criteria is the uniformat 2.
Oh, I don't
assemblies.
use those.
Oh.
Sorry.
No. What do you? What? Why don't you use those? Let's talk
Because
about that.
I'm busy specking. I'm using the specs. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use them. I just haven't. I haven't used those.
Okay. All right.
Thank goodness Gary's here. Oh, Gary. Whew, thank you.
Oh, Gary should wear a cape. He's like a superhero, constantly.
Oh, I know.
Like, you know,
Gary
it's
taught
fantastic.
me.
Taught you?
I learned from Gary.
Oh yeah.
SpecLink. Yeah.
What? All right. All right.
Yeah,
He's
Gary.
a great guy to
I
learn
learned from
from.
Gary. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So looking for the next question here. Holly, tell us something else. Tell us a story while I know we're wrapping up here ish, and we're kind of getting to the end. I just want to make sure that we're capturing the spirit of
specking.
Of specking. Yeah.
You know what? What's most important is as long as you remember, if you have a user section, as long as you don't use the D word, which is delete, as long as you learn to turn things off and on, you'll be great. That's what's most important, because you know you can't delete things in SpecLink. I mean, it looks like you delete them, but there's an overlay, right? You can always restore. But one of the things that, you know, and that's you know, really important. But one of the other things that's like really important as well as long as you don't, and my point in don't use the D word, my point is get in there and play with it. Get in there and try things. If you have a I wonder if it'll do this, then see if you can figure it out, or ask, you know, send me an email and say, hey, does it do this? Have you done this before? Or send one of the other, you know, power user spec writers a question. I think it's important to it will do a lot of amazing things. And every time somebody says, hey, will it do this? I go, I don't know. Let's try it. Let's make it. Let's see if we can make it do something, right? So it's important to don't delete things, first off, but also play with it and try it. As long as you don't delete, you can practice and you won't break it. Okay. If I haven't broken mine yet, then you won't break yours. So, and if you do break it, then they have this like amazing, you know, team of professionals who can help you fix it. What's that gal's name? Judy? Is she still with us, Judy? She's amazing.
Absolutely.
I love her. Shout out to Judy. She always helps me figure stuff out when I tear stuff up or can't figure out how to do something.
And that's a big ask to ask somebody like Holly, who pretty much knows everything already. Where does the guru go for help? That's a big.
Well, I try to push the help button because Gary's too busy, and I try not to bother Gary unless it's like something like really serious that I've tried and I just can't figure it out. Then I send a sheepish email. I look on the videos. I try to figure it out. Then I sheepishly send Gary an email.
I love this segue into the guide, the help menu here. This is Alex. You want to maybe back us up one and then show us what you're looking at here?
Absolutely. So, you know, a lot of times you're in the weeds, you're writing specifications. You know, I just don't want to, you know, pick up the phone and have to talk to somebody. So we have a guide that's built into SpecLink. You can access it from the question mark button here at the top right. But that's what Holly was kind of just indicating to before her email technique, which we're always available to chat via phone or email. But yeah, the guide is great. It's got about 75 different topical videos that are very, very specific. So like if you just need to know, okay, you know, how do I set up a header and footer again? What do I do to, you know, do that? I can come directly to a video here, and in about usually 3 to 4 minutes, the video that's kind of displayed by Gary, our director of training, it'll walk you through exactly how to do that. We also have different quick start lessons in the guide that are very specific and punctual to kind of guide you step by step through different parts of the specification. So yeah, that's all going to be, you know, kind of available to you and a really good resource. Again, if you're in, you know, in your mind and you're speccing, and you just don't want to have to stop what you're doing to maybe contact us or wait for a response.
So one of the things that Gary tells us to do when he starts training, shout out Gary, is when you open your project, the first thing you want to do is click the little question mark and open that SpecLink Cloud tab that he has and pull it over to the left of your project and just leave it open. So always have that tab there so you're speccing along in your project, but always have your help tab all the way to the left so that you can always quickly go to it. See, I can learn. I can learn, Gary.
There's an interesting question here. Again, Jonathan, if we have a trophy for like most questions, I think Jonathan's going to win today. But they're good questions. Can the presenters demonstrate insertion of an image, i.e. a line diagram depicting a circuit configuration?
Yeah, we have clients that want to do that all the time. Show us how to do it, Alex.
I can insert an image. I don't know that it would be specific in nature to, or unless I'm not following correctly, but what is the specification for the image?
Just
the question
a small
only,
image.
Yeah, is that within the body of the spec is how I'm reading it. No, it's not a header footer question specifically.
Okay, I thought it was for a specific type of an image. So yeah, for images, you can do that. And let's see, we've kind of moved a few things around. Images. Here we go. So insert image. And that will give you the opportunity. You'll just come to your computer and you can drag and drop that.
Yeah, drop my picture in the specs.
Oh, we have a max file size.
Right. Let's see. I don't know that I have an image per se. Let's see, I've got a good one.
There it is.
Whoever likes the strokes is in luck today.
Are we able to caption those images as well?
Caption.
I think you can go underneath the line 007, Alex, and hit enter.
Okay.
Above where D is. Give me a space above there. Okay, and turn that one, activate that one.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can kind of do a right click and turn off your auto number. And I mean, that's the way I've been doing it.
Very cool.
You can.
I think it's kind of cool to see some strokes artwork in SpecLink. It's kind of a
yeah, interesting.
Probably something you don't see every day.
Right.
Holly, all right. I think we got time for one more good question.
Oh, there it is. And I'm wondering if you could also do a you know, with the font where you have the like, you know, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so sorry. You can have in your font where it's like a smaller up above. Can't think of what it's called.
Superscript?
Yes, superscript and subscript. I'm wondering if you could like play with it that way too. Like put an asterisk and then put a superscript, a subscript. Thank you for reading my mind, Dory. My scrambled brain here.
You're welcome.
So it's possible to kind of like make it like up a little bit and smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gary's telling us that there's no captions yet, but this seems like a workaround that can sort of behave the same way.
We call that a weasel.
A weasel, that's right.
I'm gonna have T-shirts done up. Holly the Spec Weasel.
Spec Weasel, yeah.
Yeah,
so see, there's always more than one way. If it doesn't do this, you can try to like figure it out, right?
one more question here, Holly, and then I think we have time for one more question. So can you talk to us about your process for incorporating consultant specs and how they would link back to a table of contents?
They have to have SpecLink.
Okay.
Okay. They have to be in SpecLink in order to do that. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to export your PDFs and combine your PDFs, which is not great. I mean, I would prefer that, like, all of my consultants, and I have clients who require all of their consultants to be, and you can share a project if a client has their own masters, and create and share a project, and everybody works in the same cloud and the same project. But if they don't have SpecLink, I mean, because if you're going to try to, like, import somebody else's specs, you never know what the shape of their documents are, and it could be somewhat time consuming. So your best bet currently, and I bet Nish is like, thinking about this. He might have an answer. Yeah, right. Because Nish knows. Your best bet is to export your documents out of the cloud into a PDF and combine the PDF with the consultant documents at this point. That's my workaround. I'm sure there are other ways to do it, and you should play with it and see.
Try to break it, right, Holly?
Yeah, try to break it, because Judy will fix it for you. Hey, Judy.
Guys, we have 3 minutes left, so why don't we we'll let Alex finish up his thought here, and then maybe we'll head up. I apologize. There's a whole handful of questions that we didn't get to today. A lot of comments saying how great Judy is and how great the support is.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of questions that we weren't able to get to. If you still need answers, feel free to email them in to us, or reach out to the help desk, or whatever you need to keep your projects rolling. But
we might need another open house, Dory.
We might need another. We might have to start doing these weekly. Oh, I should not say that. Or we'll just keep doing it bi-weekly for now. Alex, if you want to jump back to the last couple of slides so that we can
Sure.
Close it up for everybody. So, Alex, how about you tell us about the training opportunities that are available?
Sure. Well, I think the great thing here at SpecLink, we don't nickel and dime as far as training is concerned. It's all free. It's available to all of our users, and we provide it monthly. So we have both a 1 hour sort of SpecLink Essentials, SpecLink free training webinar that we do usually the second Tuesday of each month. And then we have a more advanced 3 hour training that's usually available the second Wednesday of each month. So these are rolling webinars. We have our director of training, again, Gary Christensen. He's going to be the one that covers these. But usually the 1 hour will get you started. 3 hours will get you dangerous with the software. And you can sign up for this once. You can sign up for it, next month or 6 months from now as a refresher, and it's available to all your users. It's available for new hires, anybody that's training. So we want to, continually provide this as an evergreen resource to everybody out there to get you really proficient, get you sharp with spec writing. We want to save you time, we want to save you money, we want to minimize your errors, omissions, and get you good, clean specifications and consistent documentation. So yeah, this is all going to be available to you, and we welcome anyone from your teams to please join one of our trainings. Like I said, we have it live. We also do have a pre-recorded version.
Yeah, and I just want to add to this too. If you could just stay there for a sec. This is the free training that's available. We also do have customized paid training available. So if you're looking for more one-on-one, or really need to drill deep in one part of SpecLink to make your life a lot easier, then we do have additional training available like that. And like, what if somebody wanted to reach out to Holly? Like, what if somebody's watching this and be like, I need to talk to Holly directly? Do we have a way to get in touch with Holly? Oh my, look at that.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Whoop. guys,
if Holly, why don't you talk about why somebody might reach out to you, why people reach out to you, and what the sort of the best value that you offer people in terms of getting their specs nice and shiny.
Nice and shiny, clean specs. Oh. Well, I mean, I have expertise at importing and linking. I have expertise in actual spec writing. and I am always happy to answer your questions. Usually Wednesday afternoons, I do get some people asking me questions. Some people start the master process, and let's be real here. You know, at an architectural firm, you have to be billable, right? And so when people are wanting their masters set up, whether they're hybrid sections in SpecLink or whether they're imported sections or a combination of whatever, it can be a little bit time consuming, especially if you don't do it all day every day. So those are some of the questions and asks that I get from people is how can I streamline the masters, or can you do it for me? And the answer is yes, I can.
Well, then there you go. Holly's information is right up on the screen there. Oh, her email address anyways. You can reach out to her. And so that's it for today, guys. Join us on Wednesday, September 18th, 2 weeks from today, where we're going to sit down for another hour and keep an eye out on your inboxes, because we will be sharing the topic of the next Spec Talk then. Also, next Spec Talk, we'll be announcing the winners. So if you haven't had a chance to submit your projects that you completed in SpecLink and want to be eligible for the waterproof speaker and some SpecLink swag, don't forget to email Kristen. I don't know if we want to rifle back to that first slide, Alex, real quick, just so that people have Kristen's email address there. Getting a lot of thank yous. Thank you, Keenan. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Jeannie. You can email Kristen your project there with the project name, firm name, owner, and location, and hopefully you will win a prize. So other than that, you guys have been fantastic. Holly, you're a rock star. Alex, you're a rock star. Special thanks to Nish and Gary, Andrea, Krista, everybody behind the scenes who's pumping us information to keep the answers rolling. This has been fantastic, and I can't wait to see everybody in a couple of weeks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it. Look forward to speaking with you soon.
Awesome, guys. Have a good couple of weeks. See you on the 18th.
Bye.
Bye.